In this video, we're going to learn how to solve a quadratic equation by completing the square. Completing the square is the technique of taking a perfect squared trinomial and turning it into a squared binomial. And when you do that, then you can solve the equation. When you go through the process of completing the square, this is what you do. You take your quadratic term and your linear term and make sure that they're on the left-hand side of the equation. And then you take any numerical value that you have and make sure it's on the right-hand side of the equation. Then you're going to rewrite it, and you're going to give yourself a blank here, and you're going to minus 15 and give yourself a blank here. This is a space holder to complete the perfect squared trinomial. Then you write a pair of parentheses, and your square here. You're going to take the square root of this term, which is x squared, and that's going to go here. This sign that you have is going to go right here. And then you take half of 8, which is 4, and then you square it and add 16 to this side. So you take half of this term right here, and then you square that term and put it up here. You write 16 here, and then you write 16 over here. Minus 15 plus 16 gives me 1. So now I've completed the square, and I've ended up with x plus 4 squared is equal to 1. To finish out the process, and to get what x equals, you take the square root of both sides. Whenever you take the square root of something squared, it's going to be the absolute value. So by rights, I should actually make this an absolute value first, but then we know that absolute value can be positive or negative, so I can write it as positive or negative, and the square root of 1 is going to be 1. Now I subtract 4 from both sides. I'm going to end up with x is equal to minus 4 plus or minus 1. It's important that you remember that you're going to get two answers out of this when you do the plus or the minus. Minus 4 minus 1 is minus 5. Minus 4 plus 1 is going to be minus 3. So those are your values of x.